All right, so we were a stop on the PPA tour and super excited to have the OSNAP Denver Open held at Gates Tennis Center. Maybe to some of you I've just been a voice, but here you go. I am playing on the close side with Dan Reese, and our opponents are Brooke Dennis and Matt Weigel. So Brooke and Matt served first, but we got that point, so now I'm serving 0-0-1. And I am working on my offensive game and approach to the net, and as you can see, it's not so pretty, but we're getting there. So I hit an out ball and lost the point, but still felt really good in that moment about the choices I was making, besides the hitting an out ball thing. I like to come out swinging a little bit on the first couple points just to test the other team and also just to get the nerves out. So Brooke and Dan are dinking back and forth. He kind of left one up a little bit and she sped it up cross court at me. I redirected it at Matt and got the jump on him. I don't think he was quite expecting that, but I like that ball a lot. It's just happened to become a part of my game, probably because I pop up dinks and have to cover the middle. So I think Brooke was just testing me and I was ready for it. As you can see, Dan is a much better driver than myself, so I like it when he's the one doing it, but that one I think just caught Brooke off guard. She did a double take. Maybe was leaving that ball just hoping that it would go out. Or possibly a case of what I call the old hole in the paddle. So I get a drop to Matt's backhand and just clips the tape. Brooke and I cross-court dinking, and Dan stepped in to take that ball, which I like, but Brooke was ready and just reset it right at his feet. So Brooke and Matt got the serve back at 0-2-1. And a deep return from me. The lines on these courts, if the ball's hitting them, they're definitely skipping, just reacting funny. So might have just been deep, but she might have caught a little bit of a skip there. And a missed drive from Brooke, so we get the serve back. So it's going to be 2-0-1, me serving. A short return, but Brooke knew what was coming. She just blocked it back away from Dan, so he had to work a little too hard to get that final aggressive move. So we're making our way up to the kitchen here. And I think Brooke had that ball, just didn't connect well and hit the tape. I thought it was going to trickle over, but lucky for Dan and I, it landed on their side of the net. So we got 3-0-2. And I just kind of jerkily drive that ball right into the tape, so side out. We got 0-3-1, nice serve from Brooke, and a drive from Matt. I just block it back. And then the net lick makes things a little crazy. I managed to get one of those balls back, but completely lost control of the point. So Brooke and Matt on the board, 1-3-1. Hit a pretty deep return, and Brooke just hit that third a little high, and I was able to put that ball away deep, kind of in between them. So now we got Matt serving, 1-3-2. And a nice deep return from Dan. Good backhand power. Brooke was able to get that back. Great dig, and then Dan just missed that angle a little wide. He couldn't believe it. I definitely thought that return was going to go out. Another dink pattern up the line from Brooke and Dan, and then Dan got that pop-up he wanted and finished that point. Brooke, don't be shy. Let's see the Ernie. You're setting them up great, and these guys are not going to see it coming. So we got Dan serving. And Dan left that ball for me, but I hit it up pretty high on that third. And sometimes you just gotta make him hit another. We got a little bit long on Dan's serve there. He was really going for it. So we got me, second server. A little bit of a high drive from Dan there. Brooke countered that ball nicely in my direction to keep it away from him. And then I think Brooke just misfired there. I think she wanted to put a little bit more top spin and have that ball diving. Not enough shape, and popped it up. And there you have me really going for a serve and also hitting it long. Missing serves and returns are really a no-no in pickleball tournaments, and I'd like to see us as a team focus on that for the next tournament. Brooke hits a really nice diving third here, and I can't believe I missed it. Just hit the edge guard and look at my paddle as we do and wonder what just happened. We got a nice drive from Brooke right at me. I blocked the first one back and then went to crush it and hit it straight into the net. I got another drive at me. Brooke attacks high dink, which was a great ball to choose, but it went right to that spot that I'm expecting it to come to, and just redirected it right at Matt, kind of high on him. Caught him by surprise. Matt pulled me out wide with a nice serve down the line, and we had a little miscommunication. Dan told me to stay, but I was already on the move there and tried to let him know I was in my spot, but I just wasn't clear. I think I told him I'm here, but I was like right behind him when I said that, and I don't think he had any idea what I was doing. So Dan got called for a foot fault. Good catch from the ref. He was a real pro. He said he was going to be the one actually reffing for the Johns boys in their men's finals against Federico and Pablo. So that was pretty cool. But I think reffing is often a thankless job, so I always try my best, win or lose, to thank the ref for being there, and would encourage everyone to do the same. So we got a few resets, and then Brooke and I in a dink battle. She hits it to my inside foot, which is a great spot, and I didn't clear the net on that last one. So we got me as the second server. I had to scoop one up behind Dan there. We got this dink pattern again, but that one just hit a little too wide. We got me serving again here. Dan looking to make an offensive play on the short return, but Matt blocked it with his backhand right at Dan's feet, kept it away, so great job, Matt, on that point. So side out, a slice return for me, keeping him back, and Dan with the finish. Nice angle. That's a tough ball to get if you're Matt, and playing with Dan often, I am the recipient of that shot. So these guys have tied it up on us. 6-6-2. And another nice angle with some good power from Dan. Brooke went for it, but could not get a paddle on it. And not so pretty drive from me, also hitting the tape. After watching all of my missed drives from this tournament, I definitely see that I need to plant my feet and then swing. So So you got a drop coming into the kitchen, and then I go right at Matt. I went right at his body and he blocked it back really easily, and then eventually the ball worked its way to Dan, and I really should have just went to Matt's forehand side, like his right hip, or maybe a little wider down the line instead of right at his body. It can be hit or miss, but it's more common that the body shot's an easy counter. Another drive at me, which I was able to block back. I saw a lot of that for mix this weekend, just recipient of a lot of drives and speed ups, which is pretty common in mixed games. I was able to keep that ball really low and got a high ball that I put away. I'm loving my Carbon 2X. I switched recently from the Carbon to 14 millimeter, and I've definitely recognized a lot more power in my game. And actually, Matt is a Carbon ambassador. I'll put his discount code in the description. Not missing anything here, just a missed drop from me. We're still stuck at 6-6. And finally hit a good drop and rush in to attack. And look at me there, ready for the next ball. That kind of play came in steps for me. First, you have to recognize that you've hit a good drop and know when to come to the net. Sometimes they'll keep it low, sometimes they'll pop it up. But you got to be ready for either option. And when they do pop it up, recognizing when to attack, making sure you're planted and in a good position. And at first I was doing the attack well, but then not ready for that next ball to come back, and that's vital, especially at this level. Like, it's just expect it to come back. And just keeping control, pushing that ball back, keeping it low until you earn a pop-up that you can put away. In this case, my speed up was effective and I didn't receive a ball back, but you saw in the earlier point where we were going back and forth a little bit and Brooke got the ball that was popped up. So we've got a side switch. This is a round robin game to 15, so we switched at 8. It's going to be Dan serving 8-6-2. And just a little long on that serve, so it's a side out. A drive from Brooke at Dan. And he takes that one as a volley, but hits it a little long. So they've got 7-8-1. And she hit kind of a lofty, rolling lob shot there, which would have been sick if it hit the back line, but it did sail just a little long. So it's going to be Matt serving, 7-8-2. And a nice drive from Brooke off the short return, and I did not get that one back. I overswung a little bit there. So these guys get it tied up, and we're at 8-8. Drive from Matt, and I hit that one pretty good. And I have nothing more to say. Great drive from Brooke. I'm just trying to keep her back at this point and it away from Matt's forehand, and went in my favor there. She went to go take a step back, speed up down the middle, and just a little bit low hit the net. So we got side out, and Dan and I really need to make a play here because these guys are getting points on the board. We've been really neck and neck for the second half of this game. So I've got 9-9-1. I hit that dig with some topspin. I got the ball that I wanted and reached in to finish that down the middle. So we've got 10-9-1. And I hit a drive that is high but over the net. And then we've got a scramble, trying to drop it, and just hit up on the ball too much there. So Dan with a great spinning backhand get. I got pulled out wide and then tried to drop it, and then just Matt hitting down on the ball at my feet. I flicked that second one up and just totally gave up all hope to get back in that point. Great pressure from Brooke and Matt there. That's a really good point to win. It's definitely a momentum changer. Definitely boost Brooke and Matt's confidence in this case. So they got the serve back. Dan with a nice rolling volley to keep Brooke back on that fourth. And then I had a two-handed backhand finish. A nice drive from Brooke. I kept her back, and then that last ball I did not hit clean and got a lucky net roll. We'll take it. So 10-9. Trying to get the drop down. Matt with a really nice backhand flick right at Dan's feet. My drops were either higher in the net for almost this entire day. I hit a couple good ones, but that's an adjustment we're working on for the new paddle. Brooke sets us up well, going right at my feet, and I popped it up to Matt for another great finish from him. So these guys get the serve back, and it's going to be 9-10 still. Matt drives, I block it, and then get a ball that I think I can be aggressive with, and really I probably should have done that with two hands, but just whipped my arm instead of a thoughtful shot and hit it straight into the net. So I tried to roll that volley, and Brooke left it up. Brooke attacked it, great shot. I blocked it, but she went at my right shoulder, which is always a great spot for a speed up, and just took advantage. Great attack off the bounce there. So they got the point, so it's 11-10-1. Kind of a short return. Matt did pop it up a little bit, and then Dan blocked it back with some pace at Brooke. She got it back, but popped it up a little bit to me. I just wildly swung my arm, and it went straight into the net, but worked out for me this time. If you can tell, I am losing my confidence and starting to make some wild plays. You gotta figure out how to come back from that when you're in that moment. It's rough. You lose some points you shouldn't, hit some balls into the net that you shouldn't, and you gotta find a way in those moments to really brush it off your shoulder and just stay strong, find your focus again. I know it's easier said than done, and I struggle with this a lot myself. As you can see on clear display here, but something I want to work on. If anybody has any tips for like what you do when times get tough, I want to hear about it. So leave me a comment or shoot us an email. Let us know how you get through those moments. So we got the serve back, and now's the time. I'm trying to be aggressive with some of these dinks and hit another one on the tape, and it rolls on our side this time. Just annoyed with myself. So Dan's got the serve now. Nice drive from Dan, good block from Brooke. Oh, and then I just haul off and hit that ball straight at Matt. Sorry, Matt, that was a little aggressive. But we did get that point, so I guess it worked. And we got Dan serving again, so we've tied it at 11. And just hitting the tape on that drop. Now he wants that one back. A drive from Matt just kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it to go to the right side of my body. So these guys get the lead, 12-11. And missed drive from Matt there, so second server. And a big swing at a high ball just right into the net again. So we've taken a timeout. Definitely a good place to do it because I think Dan knows me well enough by now to know that I need to find it in me to grind it out, and it's not happening in the middle of a point. So nice timeout here. We didn't really talk, but we didn't need to. We just needed to take a moment to regroup and find our game again. Coming back from this timeout, I did feel good about being able to stand tall and just get back in the game. We're playing pretty much just a conservative standard point. And then we got a ball from the adjacent court come over, so got to replay that point. Moving on. So 13-11, they're up by 2. Drive from Matt, just an easy block. Brooke got a ball that was up a little bit and just didn't connect with it, going for that speed up. So we get the serve back, working our way. And I take a nice rip here at Matt, and it forces the ball up. Dan gets on it, and then they got a couple back, but that last one was just good pace at a good spot. Caught Brooke scrambling back. And I just kind of hit that ball weird. I was meaning to drop it with backspin, but didn't get under it well. So we got second server. Just trying to drop at Matt there, and got the ball I wanted in the middle for my two-handed backhand behind Brooke. So we've tied it up here, and I missed a drop just on the move. So they get the serve back. It's 13-13. And Dan and I both wanted that one. But good job just resetting off the net there. I took a swing at Matt, got the pop up, and finished down the line. And now we're feeling good. It's time to grind and finish this game. So they have second server. Drive from Matt. We're keeping Brooke back here. Some good pace, a really nice drop from Brooke, but I dug it out and kept it low. And then ripped it and found that same spot again. So we got 13-13. I hit that ball way too high, and Matt comes in for a really heavy put away. I was sitting backhand, so I really didn't have a chance. He went to the outside of my body, which is a pretty common place for that ball to go. So I should have been on my toes a little bit more to get that ball back. A nice drop and some dinks. I was really trying to go cross court with Matt, moving him around. And I get a ball that I think I can attack, and trying to flick it, just poked at it and hit it straight out. That kind of a misfire is definitely an indication of feeling confident in that point, and I thought I could do more than I really can and missed it. So feeling good at this point. So we've got 13-13-2. And a really nice drive from Matt right down the middle. So these guys are at 14-13-2. And we're going to take a timeout just to try to get that last-ditch effort to stop the momentum before the game-winning point. So we've got match point, Brooke serving. Really good drop from Matt. And then we both miss it. That's how it ends. Wasn't super happy, but you know, Brooke and Matt stayed strong and fought their way to the win here and definitely earned it.